I'm already a millionaire in my mind. I don't see it yet, but I believe it now. In the same way a seed is called by its finished form, I'm accepting my divine inheritance as a child of God. I'm meant to have life and have it more abundantly. My treasure on earth shall correspond directly to the treasure in the heaven of my mind. Abundance is my birthright. Ashe, amen, and so it is. My name is Julian Gordon, and I'm author of Rich and Righteous: Spiritual Secrets to Mastering Money, Manifestation, and Your Mind. After becoming a multimillionaire through real estate investing, I was moved by God at the beginning of the pandemic to share my money mindset that allowed me to quit my job in January of 2009 at the bottom of the last recession and achieve full financial freedom. I own my mental real estate before I own any physical real estate. This book is like some of your favorites: Rich Dad, Poor Dad, As a Man Thinketh, Think and Grow Rich, and the Bible all in one. But the divine downloads and thoughts that are in here are 100% original and came for a 6-month period at the beginning of the pandemic. This book is normally $100 on Amazon if you went there right now, but I want to give you access to it for free by inviting you to our next reading group. Yes, the reading group is 100% free. Every weekday for 100 days straight, I'll be reading and discussing the 10 money commandments in the book that make money come to you in your life easily, more frequently, and abundantly. And it will take about 30 to 45 minutes as we read 3 to 5 pages per day until we finish the book and reprogram your mind around money. Why 100 days? Well, if you are 30 years old, you've lived for 10,950 days. And we have to deprogram and reprogram the negative, scarcity-based money mindset society has taught you. And I believe I can do that in just 1% of the time in about 100 days. I'm done with shelf help. You know, when you buy a book to change your life, but you never read it, it just sits on your bookshelf and collects a whole bunch of dust. We off that. When is the last time you had an author actually read their book to you out loud because they cared about you getting the information in your soul? I'm not just here to get this book in your hands. More importantly, I want to get it in your head and your heart, because that's where the real transformation occurs, in the conscious and the subconscious mind. As scripture says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is not the type of book that you just read once. To renew the subconscious mind requires repetition over and over and over. So if you joined us last time, I encourage you to join us again. I myself have read this book over 10 times already. So click the link to join our next reading group, and when you sign up, I'm gonna give you the first 2 chapters of the book for absolutely free on what is money and abundance is your birthright, so that you can start your journey to a more abundant life today.
What's good, everybody? This is your boy Fabian coming at you with another reading of The Rich and Righteous. We're starting a new week, a new day. We are still in money commandment number 3, how the rich and righteous feel about money. If you're new, please make sure you go check out the previous readings so you can get caught up. If you don't have the book, please click the link in the description section of the post. There's a link there that you can order the book. When you order the book, you get 5 copies of the book so you can share to family and friends. This is the 100-day challenge. We will be reading this thing for 100 days. Right now, we're on day 14. Money commandment number 3, how the rich and righteous feel about money. Make sure that you guys are doing your I am a millionaire affirmations. Do it before you go to bed. Do it when you wake up in the morning. Also, write down your additional I am. Remember, when we use the power of I am, make sure we're using it in a positive light. If you don't understand that, go back and check out those previous readings. Get caught up on that, the power of I am. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get to day 14 started. Money is emotional.
Money is emotional, okay? Again, everybody type E-motion. E-motion. Everybody type that in. Electromagnetic motion. That's what feelings are. They are electromagnetic motions. So when you break down the word in that way, it makes sense, right? It makes sense in terms of when you're feeling an emotion and that frequency is going out from your aura, from your body, right? And it's also staying inside of you. So everybody type emotion. Now you'll never be able to see that word in the same way again, right? Because now you know what's actually happening when you're experiencing an emotion, right? You're sending out a vibrational frequency at that moment in time, all right? So here we go, page 147. And when he had sent the multitudes away, he went up into a mountain apart to pray. And when the evening came, he was there alone. Matthew 14:23. So anytime we talk about a mountain, what are we talking about? When we're talking about a mountain, what are we talking about? A higher level consciousness. This is why Moses went up to the mountain. This is why Jesus went up to the mountain. This is why Noah's Ark lands on our mountain, right? Because we're talking about higher states of consciousness whenever you see mountain, all right? All financial problems are spiritual. All financial problems are spiritual. The problem is that we've been trying to solve financial problems on a financial level. Even with all of the popular books on financial literacy out there, 78% of Americans are still living paycheck to paycheck. Albert Einstein said, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we use to create them. Money is a spiritual substance, but the physical representation serves as an indicator of what you believe your value to be in the physical world. Regardless of how much money is in your name right now, you are still invaluable to God. I'm going to repeat that. Regardless of how much money is in your name right now, you are still invaluable to God. So everybody in chat, please type all financial problems are spiritual. All financial problems are spiritual. Type that in the chat. I need you to anchor that. I need you to understand that. Okay? If you try to solve a financial problem on the financial level, you will get stuck. You have to elevate in consciousness. You have to go up to a higher plane in order to solve that problem. It's no different than if you try to play chess, okay? If you try to play chess down here as a chess piece, it'll be hard to win the game. But when you're playing chess, you look above, you rise above, you have a bird's eye view of the board, and that allows you to navigate successfully, okay? But if you try to play down here as if you're a pawn or as if you're a rook, you won't be able to see and actually generate the right strategy to get to the win, right? So when we're playing chess, we are looking, we are risen above and we're looking down at the board, okay? And so we know that the spiritual plane is higher than the physical plane, right? And so we want to solve our financial problems from a spiritual standpoint. The 4 levels of life, ordered from the highest to lowest, are spiritual, then mental, then emotional, and finally physical, okay? So we have the spiritual plane, we have the mental plane, we have the emotional plane, and we have the physical plane, okay? Though money operates as a medium of exchange between the mental and material realm, the root causes are on the spiritual, mental, and emotional level, okay? So though money operates as a medium of exchange between the mental and material realm, the root causes are on the spiritual, mental, and emotional level. Your harvest begins with the thought seeds sown in your head. Solve the emotional, mental, and spiritual problems such as scarcity, limited belief, and low self-worth, and money will flow. These internal, immaterial, invisible beliefs about ourselves, our lives, and God are like river dams that block the flow of money into our lives. I'll be damned is not an affirmation you want to experience. This is why financial literacy will only get you so far, because it only teaches you what to do with money physically. Budget, save, invest 10%, eliminate consumer debt. But it never examines the mentality that got you into consumer debt, or to accept the lower pay that you deserve, or why you have difficulty sticking to a budget. I'm going to repeat that. This is why financial literacy will only get you so far, because it only teaches you what to do with money physically. Budget, save, invest 10%, eliminate consumer debt. But it never examines the mentality that got you into consumer debt, or to accept lower pay than you deserve, or why you have difficulty sticking to a budget. You need financial spirituality to understand the frequency of money so that it comes to you more frequently. Once we understand the frequency of money, it will come to us more frequently. Okay? So we have to understand the unseen forces behind this physical substance. When in the right and righteous order, the physical is controlled by the emotional. The emotional is controlled by the mental, and the mental is controlled by the spiritual. If you can't control your emotions, you will never be able to control money. Money responds to emotions, electromagnetic motions. But when your emotions lead you, you become an emotional spender instead of an empowered steward. You become an emotional spender, okay, instead of an empowered steward, okay? So we don't want to be an emotional spender. This is how we lose money, okay? We want to be an empowered steward, not an emotional spender. We're on page 48, middle paragraph. When a blind man can't see, he physically feels his way around. In the same way, money fills our emotions to find its way around the economy. All right? When a blind man can't see, he physically feels his way around. In the same way, money fills our emotions to find its way around the economy. Okay? So money is blind. We need to put some Stevie Wonder glasses on Benjamin Franklin because money cannot see. Money cannot see. It doesn't say, oh, that person is white. Let me go towards them. Oh, that person came from the middle class or upper class. Let me go towards them. That is not how money navigates the economy. Money navigates the economy through feeling. It is attracted by feeling, and those feelings are generated from our E-motions. You are not a victim of your emotions. This is hard for many people to understand. You are not a victim of your emotions. Your mind and thinking have the power to tell you how to feel. Okay? Because watch this. You think that you're a victim to your emotions. Oh, I got angry. I got sad. That made me happy. Something outside of me made me happy. But you can control your emotions when you are empowered. And what do I mean by that? If I say, think about the most loving person in your life right now, just take a moment. Think about the most loving person in your life. For me, that was probably my godmother and is my godmother. Okay? Most loving person I know. When I think about her, right? When I use my mind to think about her, I get a warm feeling of love in my heart. So I just changed my emotional state by using my thinking. So emotions aren't just things that just come out of nowhere and just spew out of us. This is the same way where somebody who just has a mouth and they just cursing and cursing and cursing, they're not in control of their words. They're not in control of what's coming out of them. And many times their emotions are connected to that. But we have to get into a place where we command our emotions, not our emotions commanding us. Many of us, some of our worst decisions in life have come out of not having control of our emotions. Some of the toughest moments in your life came out of you not having full control over your emotions. Okay? You are not a victim of your emotions. Your mind and thinking have the power to tell you how to feel. Think about the most loving person in your life, perhaps a spouse, parent, grandparents, or children, and then observe how you feel. In this moment, you likely feel good. What you thought about determined your feeling, not the other way around. When we allow our emotions to dictate our thinking, mental health issues begin to arise. When our mind is aligned with the spiritual truth of who we are, you are in righteousness and you can't go wrong. Okay? Money is emotional. Money is emotional, or better yet, sensitive. Okay? It has a sense and responds to feelings. This is why it's not only attracted to certain types of beings. It is not a coincidence that we call an extremely low economic downturn a what? What do we call a low economic downturn, family? What's the word for that? It's called a depression. When an individual is in a low emotional state for an extended period of time, what do we call that, family? We call it a depression. So you see how the same word is applied to the economy as it is applied to someone's emotional state? Do you see the link now, the correlation between economic depression and the internal depression that somebody's experiencing emotionally? So the question is, what's the chicken or the egg? Is it our emotional state, the depression that is in us, that leads to an economic depression? Or is it an economic depression that leads to an emotional depression? I believe that it's as without, so within, right? So whatever we're experiencing within, right, it is done unto you as you believe. So any economic depression that we're experiencing in the physical realm must be rooted in an emotional depression that we are experiencing, that we have. Are you seeing that on the larger collective consciousness now? And in your personal economy, if you are experiencing a depression in your personal economy, meaning just what you are experiencing when you look at your bank account, then guess what? It's likely tied to the fact that you are experiencing an emotional depression. You got that? Depression is a low emotional state as well as a sunken or lower place. Did our emotional depression lead to economic depression, or did our economic depression lead to an emotional depression? Or did they work hand in hand? Most say that the outer caused the inner, but you know from this book that the outer is always a reflection of the inner. As above, so below. As in our consciousness, as in the heaven of our mind, right? So below in our material experience. When your house is messy, listen to this. When your house is messy, it is usually a direct reflection of confusion in your mind. How many of you have made that correlation? When your house is messy, it is because your mind is messy. You are confused. You are not clear up here, and therefore your house, your external environment, is a direct reflection of how unorganized your mind is. How many of you have made that correlation before?
I have definitely made that correlation. Sometimes if my desk is cluttered and I'm getting ready to get to work and get busy, I can't focus on the job at hand because there's clutter and dysfunction in the area. So I have to get everything cleaned up, organized, just so my mind can flow freely. So I definitely resonate with this statement right here.
So I want you to see it in your personal space. I want you to see it in your personal life, not just in the larger context. I want you to see how you are shaping and impacting the environment that you control. You control your home. You may not control the world, but you can control your home. And you see how when your mind is unorganized and cloudy and unclear, all of a sudden your physical space becomes the exact same. Are you seeing the connection now? So it is actually rooted in here. So again, if you're experiencing an economic depression in your personal economy, it is likely because you're experiencing depression from within. When your house is messy, it is usually a direct reflection of the confusion in your mind. This is why some people start cleaning their environment in hopes of cleaning up their shrinking thinking from the outside in. Sometimes, listen, while everything does start within, sometimes the outer can stimulate the inner. But if you have ever tried cleaning up after a hoarder, because I've experienced a hoarder in my life, okay? I've never been a hoarder, but I've experienced a hoarder. Who's ever tried to clean up after a hoarder? Their mind will recreate the chaos as soon as you are no longer present. Why? Because their mind. If you ever tried to clean up after a hoarder, right? Hoarder is when they have all kinds of papers and boxes and they just can't let go of stuff. Even if you come in and you clean up their mind, because of what's going on in their mind, they will recreate the environment. So what I mean by sometimes the outer can stimulate the inner. Sometimes a car does need a jump from the outside, from another car in order to get started again. Sometimes a heart does need a defibrillator, boom, in order to get started again. But we never want to rely on outside things or outside substances to get us back to our center. We never want to depend on them. There are some cases where it is useful to have something outside stimulate you internally, but for the most part, our internal shapes our external, okay? The mess starts in the mind, not in the house. On page 149, second paragraph. If your money is not appreciating monetarily, you likely aren't appreciating money emotionally. If your money is not appreciating, meaning growing monetarily, you are likely aren't appreciating money emotionally. You're wasting money. You're wasting money. You're not appreciating it. You're spending money, and when you spend money, you end money. Okay? Emotion or electromagnetic motion is energy that tends to cause action, especially spending. We must elevate from emotional spending to insecure saving. We want to be empowered stewards, empowered by God-given energy, empowered by the God-given energy of money. Everybody type spend with the hyphen. Type SP hyphen end. Everybody type spend. SP hyphen end. That will make it very clear to you what you're doing when you spend money. Now, we circulate money, but we don't spend money. I need you to see the word as it is. SP hyphen end. You see the word end there? When you spend money, you end it. You end its relationship with you. It is at its ending point in your personal economy, and now it goes and multiplies and magnifies somebody else's personal economy. So we never want to spend money. We will invest money, we will circulate money, but we never want to spend money. We never want to put it into a liability or expense that is unnecessary. So we want to be empowered stewards, empowered by the God-given energy of money, not emotionally controlled by it. Marketers understand that people are not logical and buy based on emotions. It is not logical to spend thousands of dollars on a shiny rock that has no purpose to show that you love someone. Sorry, ladies. I know you want your whatever carat, whatever. I don't even know the numbers. But it is not logical to spend thousands of dollars on a shiny rock that has no purpose to show that you love someone. It's not logical. The diamond industry manufactured that whole narrative, and we bought into it. How about you put a down payment on a house? What is that shiny rock going to do for you, family? What does it do for you? Absolutely nothing. But what would a down payment on a multifamily home do for you? It would move you closer and closer to financial freedom and generational wealth. Key rings before wedding rings. What would you value more if I gave you a key ring to a new house? So let me know. Would you prefer a key ring to a multifamily home or a wedding ring? I know somebody said, can I have both? You may be able to have both, but in a particular sequence. Key ring or wedding ring, family? People said, I like both. Well, wedding ring gonna cost, down payment gonna cost 20 racks. Wedding ring gonna cost 20 racks. Your man only got 25 racks. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Ellen, that's how you know which one to choose. If you're choosing, you gotta ask that question. Key rings or wedding rings? That'll be your determination. You'll get your answer. It's not logical to spend thousands of dollars on a shiny rock that has no purpose to show that you love someone. All right? It's not logical to buy a Louis Vuitton purse and then have no money to put in it. It's not logical to buy a Louis Vuitton purse and then have no money to put into it. What's the purpose of a purse? The purpose of a purse is to hold your belongings, to hold some money. But if you spend all your money on the purse and you have no money to put in the purse, what's the point of that? It is not logical to pay $100,000 for a 10-cent college diploma in the information age where you can learn almost anything you want online for free. It is not logical to pay 6 figures for a 10-cent piece of paper. Literally, you can go to Kinko and get some certificate paper with gold trim and make a college diploma right now. Anyone know what's crazy? When people get their college diplomas, you realize the frame that they put their college diploma in is worth more than the actual piece of paper? It's not logical. College is an emotional decision nowadays. It's not a logical decision. Back in the day, it was a logical decision. But today, it is an emotional decision. Oh, I don't want to feel behind. All my friends are doing it. My parents want me to do it. It's an emotional decision. It's not logical. But the fear of falling behind is what gets people to go to college. So it's a fear, right? You were told you need a degree to fall back on when it is the student debt that causes you to fall on your back. Marketers use emotions like fear, scarcity, loneliness, insecurity, social proof, and other tactics to get you to act. The field is called sales psychology. When the product or service can help you achieve your goals faster, safer, and easier, sales psychology is helpful. But when these tactics are in the wrong hands, it can be hurtful to your personal economy. Okay? Emotional immaturity is the cause of most economic struggles. Programming tells women that when they have a hard breakup, that they should eat tubs of ice cream and shop until they and their credit scores drop. You know when they say shop until you drop? Yeah, it's not you dropping, it's shop until your credit score drops. That's programming, family. Programming tells middle-aged men that they should buy a red sports car and date a woman 10 to 20 years younger than them when they get divorced, right? In these instances, emotions are driving economic activity. In these instances, emotions are driving economic activity. Emotions beget economics, which begets emotions, which begets economics. It is cyclical. On the flip side, penny pinching and coupon cutting are rooted in scarcity. There may be times when frugality is called for, but contraction and acting poor oftentimes don't feel good. The energy to search and save $5 here and there could have been used to make $500 here or there instead. So some of y'all will spend 2 hours looking for a discounted flight when you could have spent that 2 hours making $1,000. You looking 2 hours for a discounted flight to save $100 on a flight when you could have used that 2 hours to make $1,000. Okay? Investing can only come from a feeling of abundance. When you begin to invest and your money starts working for you, that abundance mindset begets more abundance in your life. So debt is emotional. Debt is emotional, right? But emotions also cause debt. If you hate your job, you may feel like you need a vacation. When you use debt to go on vacation to escape a job you hate, don't forget that the emotional baggage costs more than the trip. I'm going to repeat that. When you use debt to go on a vacation to escape a job you hate, don't forget that the emotional baggage costs more than the trip. Why go on vacation when you have to use debt to do so? Usually, people are trying to vacate from their current reality temporarily. And rather than changing their current reality, they would rather escape. The problem is that as soon as the vacation is over, they will return to the same reality and nothing will have changed except their tan and time. Wherever you go, family, there you are. You can escape the job, but you can never escape yourself.
All right. This concludes day 14. Day 14 is officially in the books. What are your takeaways? Come on, man. Day 14 was good. Emotion. Money is emotional. E-motion. Money responds off of emotional energy. One of my takeaways for today: spend money versus spend money. When you spend money, you end money. SP-END. Notice the END is the word end. When you spend money, you end money. Write it down so you can see it. When you spend money, you circulate money into the economy. SPINN. Spend versus spend. Spend versus spend. Make sure that resonates with you guys when you're out there spending your money. Ask yourself, how is this money gonna spend back to me versus SPEND? When I spend this money, it's gonna end. When I buy these pair of shoes, it's gonna end. But if I buy this investment here, this marketing tool, it's gonna return. It's gonna spend money back to me because I'm gonna get return on my ad dollars. Just think of it that way. Some money is meant to be spent and end, of course, but you want to be conscious of what you spend money on to end money versus what you spend money on to spend money. This concludes day 14. Day 14 is officially in the books. Make sure you type in what are your takeaways from the reading. You definitely should have some takeaways. If you do not have any takeaways, that means you were not listening and you did not comprehend your reading. So we definitely want to go back, re-listen to the recording, and also reread your books and your sections so you can in turn let us know what were your takeaways from the reading. If you don't have the book, make sure you click the link in the description section. Go ahead and order your book. The link is there. Even when this 100-day reading is over, that book is still going to be valuable to you and your friend. Day 14 officially in the books. So